The factory must grow. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Toast Hammer, where if you understood that reference, you already know what I'm about to tell you. See, I've been playing a lot of the game Arknights Endfield recently, and in that game, you build and manage a factory, which has driven me to become absolutely obsessed with optimization. And ignore the spaghetti that's on the screen right now. It's optimized, I swear, I promise, okay? But it has gotten me thinking, how can I optimize my hobby life a little bit more? During my sort of extended hiatus from the channel, one of the things I picked up was 3D printing, specifically FDM printing. Resin printing still terrifies me. It's toxic goop that is bad for health and bad for a not too spacious apartment. So I'm going to stick with the plastic filament, which is still probably not amazing for your health, but it seems at least better, I hope. But in addition to printing up a bunch of terrain and things like that, which it has been absolutely excellent for, something that I have been trying to do is print some organizational, a historical kind of weak point in not only my hobbying, but in general life. I'm not the most organized person, as you might be able to tell from the way these videos often end up going. So, I decided to look into a variety of solutions I could 3D print to kind of help with that purpose. And the best one I came up with is a system called Gridfinity, which is sort of centered around a variety of containers organized by their a base plate, where it's a grid of all squares that are the same size, and then you print stuff to fit in the grid, and it creates a nice interlocking system of a variety of containers of customizable shapes and bins and things of that nature. Now, I already went ahead and did this to my auxiliary paint drawer. I have a lot of the paints I use the most kind of up and around my desk area, so they're easy to access. But I own more paints than that, and storing them has always been a huge pain in both trying to retrieve the paints I need and getting them out of sight and out of mind when I don't need them. Kind of, you know, a paradoxical relationship with these paints that are a sometimes treat. And so I decided to use Gridfinity to organize that drawer, and it turned out super, super well. I was able to find some files that fit the sizes of paint bottles I was using, and I managed to even customize my own, which will come into play soon. Because I wanted to tackle the next drawer on this 6-drawer setup for all of my extra hobby supplies, which is the kind of, I'm calling it the airbrushing drawer. It's kind of the airbrushing plus drawer, but for now, we'll kind of see how it evolves over time. That's something that's also really cool about the system, is you can kind of swap in bins pretty easily. So let's take a look at how that's doing, and oh. Yeah, we should do something about that. So, none of these paint sizes, these are pretty strange paint sizes, they're kind of like the larger bottles and things like that, were easily available as templates online, so I was left with no choice but to make my own. And I've just realized my camera froze, so let's see if I can pick back up where we were. Yes, designing my own containers using Fusion 360, kind of figuring out how that program worked, just kind of tinkering around with a few things. Luckily, this was a great first project to do. It didn't really have that many complex operations. I just looked up a tutorial for taking shapes away from other shapes and measured a couple of things with my calipers to make sure I had the right measurements, and put those in, made a cylinder roughly the size of the bottle, took that cylinder away from the blank template I had found online, and yeah, exported it as an STL and got it set up for 3D printing. It really was kind of painless once I figured out how to use the program. Fusion 360, if you're used to CAD, maybe it's nice. I had a bad time with it. It took me so long to figure out how to use this program. But once I got kind of used to the eccentricities, let's say, it worked out all right. And I was able to print up some customized solutions for these more strangely sized paint bottles. And in one case, I was even able to print a little holder for the airbrush cleaning supplies when I just had a little bit of extra space left in the thing. And sending off our pieces to the printer and getting them printed up, we are left with this perfectly organized drawer with lots of space left to expand it with whatever else I kind of decide to put in there. That's why I called it Airbrush Plus. I don't have that much airbrushing stuff at the moment. I could have made maybe a nice little shadow box for my airbrush itself, but this is a real cheapo model. If I wanted to get like a nicer airbrush down the line, maybe that's something I could and should do. But for now, just a little bin is fine. It has a place to live, and that's all it needs. Anyway, more of a quick one today about how I am optimizing for my future and making my future tasks a little bit more painless, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. Please subscribe to see more of my 3D printing escapades. Print farm, well, farm is a generous word. The printing is going well. Maybe I'll probably end up painting my terrain at some point. And I'll probably be making some videos about that. So stay subscribed if you're interested on some quick terrain painting tips. I have several untested ideas that I think are promising. We'll see how any of those turn out. And if you want to join the community, come say hi in the Toast Hammer Discord, where we're building a nice little group of hobbyists, sharing our progress on projects and things of that nature. I occasionally post kind of what's coming in the pipeline of these videos as well. So if you want a little sneak preview, hop on in there. And until next time, peace.